Yeah, so if you're ever feeling stuck, maybe in your business, your relationships, your creativity, and no matter how much you think about it or plan, nothing seems to move in the right direction, this might explain why. Look, I've been studying with Professor Stefanie Fay, and what she's teaching about the brain and the nervous system is really fascinating. So she explains that when we try to think our way to a solution, when we analyze, strategize, or just push for motivation, the brain moves into what's called high beta. It's a fast, calculating, analytical state, and it's great for short bursts of focus, but it's exhausting when we stay there. And in that state, the brain's working really hard, but it's working in isolation, and there's neurons that are rapidly firing, talking only to their closest neighbors in the brain. And that's why it feels like noise. There's so much energy, but very little integration. And we loop the same thoughts over without kind of moving forward. But then she described what happens when the nervous system begins to feel safe again, when we slow down and the brain shifts into alpha and theta ranges. And this is the part that really fascinated me. In those slower brainwave states, the brain isn't just relaxing, it's reorganizing. And neural signals begin to synchronize across different regions of the brain. And so logic starts communicating with emotion, and memory connects with imagination. And that's when insight and creativity really emerge. And she said that in those states, it's almost as if the normal laws of the world no longer apply. Time feels different, perception widens, and the brain is more capable of breakthrough. And when she said that, I realized something important. Those moments we've all had, when everything clicks, or an idea seemingly just comes out of nowhere, well, those thoughts aren't just coming to us randomly. That's what happens when the body feels safe enough for the brain to fully connect. Because here's another thing she explained. Around 80% of the messages in our nervous system travel from the body up to the brain. And only 20% go the other way. So most of what your brain knows about your state begins as a sensation. Breath, posture, muscle tone, your heart rate. Which means that change doesn't start with your thoughts, it starts with signals from the body. And that doesn't happen in a single deep breath or a quick grounding exercise, but it does happen through consistent experiences of safety, through breath work, through interpersonal connection, through practices that remind your body what safety feels like, and until it becomes the new normal. And when your body remembers the safety, your brain opens up. And what happens is that's when creativity returns. That's when decisions feel clear. That's when things begin to move forward again after feeling stuck. So maybe the key to getting unstuck isn't pushing harder or forcing yourself to focus more. Maybe it's learning to create the internal conditions where insight can finally reach you. Trying to think your way to change can be difficult and exhausting. But once your body feels safe, your whole system becomes capable of breakthrough. Does that idea resonate with you? That the body leads the mind? Have you noticed that often your breakthroughs do come when you're not forcing it? When you're doing something that's regulating your nervous system, like walking or maybe spending time in nature? Comment below. I'd love to hear about your experience too.